So real NHS interview questions, part 9. One of my clients had an interview with the NHS recently, and the NHS Trust that she applied to, hear this, you know what they did? They actually sent her a list of the questions that they would be asking her. Like they told her, your interview is on this date. These are the list of questions that we're going to be asking you. Take it, go and prepare. Now, not many trusts do that. So if you apply to a trust and they do that for you, make the most use of it. Anyway, so she actually reached out to me. She contacted me. She showed me the questions. She was like, she'd like for us to go through them and have like a proper comprehensive preparatory session. And the goal was just to refine her answers and make her feel more confident going for the interview. And so in today's video, I will be answering some of those questions. Now, these are the questions. Yeah, that's it. So you can pause and actually read all of them. I'll just be picking a few and answering them today. So when I say real NHS interview questions and answers in my captions or in my videos, I actually mean it. They are real. Meanwhile, if you're new here, you're very welcome. My name is Rajuna. I'm a sonographer in the UK by background, and in the past 1 year plus, I have been making videos like this to help you succeed and ace your upcoming NHS interviews, as well as coaching everyday people like you and I to succeed with their interviews and get that job. So, from that list of questions that I showed you, the first question that I will be answering today is, how do you think that the current pressures or challenges or changes faced by the NHS or our trust will impact on your role? Now, this is more of an insight-based or situational awareness question designed to actually assess your knowledge of the challenges facing the NHS or that specific trust, as well as your awareness, your conscious awareness of how these challenges could affect your role within the NHS or within that specific trust. So when you hear a question like this, do you know one thing that the interviewers want to hear? I'll tell you. All they want to hear is that even if the whole department was crumbling all around you and you're in such a difficult position, you will continue to remain adaptable, proactive, and committed to delivering the best possible care within your capacity. What they want to see is that you can handle pressure without losing focus, that you're a team player who is always ready to support their colleagues, and that you're willing to adapt to new ways of working, even on very short notice. That's basically what they want to hear. They just need you to be able to articulate that. So when answering this question, instead of just listing the challenges and how they will affect or impact your role, what you should do is that you should acknowledge it and then shift the focus to how you will respond positively despite the challenges that you may face in this role. So one way that you can answer this is to say, I understand that one of the biggest challenges facing the NHS right now is staff shortages, increased patient demand, constant changes, funding issues, and other financial pressures. These challenges can actually impact roles across the organization, and I do acknowledge that because it can actually lead to an increased workload, requiring staff to be a little bit more adaptable, more proactive, and emphasizing the need for efficient teamwork. For my role specifically, this means that I will likely be taking on more responsibility, being more proactive in problem solving, ensuring effective communication between teams, and maintaining high standards of patient care despite the pressures and the challenges. And so if I'm faced with this, I will focus on being very adaptable and supporting my team to make sure that patient care is not compromised. Now, in real time, this could mean managing my workload effectively, communicating clearly with my colleagues, and just generally being open to learning new ways of working. Ultimately, I actually see challenges as an opportunity to step up and contribute in a meaningful way. And that's what I will be bringing with me if I'm considered for this role. So when you answer the question like this, it actually shows the recruiter that no matter what happens, you're actually a very reliable, dependable, adaptable, and a solutions-driven person, which is exactly what they want to hear. So make sure that you lock this in, okay? Now, I'm going to be answering another question from that list. But before I do that, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, this is the perfect opportunity to do that. I mean, if you've received any value from my content and you love to see more and more content like this, then please do not fail to like, to share, to subscribe. Now, apart from the fact that it actually motivates me to do this when you actually like, share, and subscribe, another perk to doing this is the fact that the algorithm picks up on the signals and is able to actually show my video to more people like you who actually need information like this that can help them to secure their interviews and get that job. There's so many people out there who really need help and guidance to getting a job within the UK in the healthcare sector. Videos like this are very helpful to them. So by liking, sharing, and subscribing, you're able to signal the algorithm to push this to more and more people who need it. So if you haven't already done it, please do that now, and I'll move on to the second question. Okay, so the second question that I'll be answering is this. Give an example of how you have inspired or energized an unmotivated individual or group. What did you do? How did you approach it? And what was the outcome? Okay, so this is how I would answer a question like that. In any workplace, you're actually bound to come across people who feel unmotivated from time to time. Sometimes they're just overwhelmed, sometimes they're just burnt out, and sometimes they just do not see the purpose in what they are doing. So I actually had a situation like this with a colleague who was struggling to stay engaged with work. They felt like their efforts were not being recognized, and it was really affecting their attitude overall within the workplace. So when I noticed this, instead of ignoring it, I actually made out the time. So I took the time to go and have a chat with them. I reminded them of how much their work mattered to us as a department, as a team. And I was able to actually and genuinely pinpoint different areas where they've actually made a difference within our team. So seeing as, they felt really overwhelmed and just, generally just felt like they didn't make a difference, after pointing that out, as part of my encouragement, I did encourage my colleague to try to break down their entire task into smaller goals so that they can actually feel a sense of progress within themselves. Now, one of the key things that I did in terms of trying to motivate my colleague, and I believe was one of the most important factors, was the fact that I led by example. I made sure to stay positive throughout the entire interaction and throughout my time at work, because people are watching me. So throughout my time at work, I made sure that I stayed positive. I offered support, and I also acknowledged their effort in front of the team. So over time, what I noticed was a shift in their attitude, and it was very refreshing to see. They became a lot more engaged. They started contributing a little bit more. They had ideas and they were sharing it with the team, and they even helped to motivate other people, which was really, really refreshing to see. And it was a very proud moment in my career. So the biggest lesson for me was that sometimes people just need to feel seen and to feel valued at work. And that a little encouragement, a little positivity can actually go a long way in re-energizing someone and reminding them of why their work is very important. And this is exactly the mindset that I actually bring to this role. So whether it's supporting my colleagues or keeping a high morale during challenging times, or ensuring that patients just feel reassured, they feel cared for, they feel valued, I know that a positive and a proactive approach makes a huge difference. And as part of your team, I will be someone who helps to create an environment where both staff and patients feel valued and cared for and supported. Okay, so that's a way that you can answer that question. And a major tip when you're answering that question is the fact that you shouldn't just say that you motivated someone. No, don't do that. You have to show how you did it. How did you motivate the person? You have to talk about the specific actions you took and the impact that your actions had. And then when you're done with that, you want to try to link it back to how you would bring the same energy into this current role that you're applying for. So by doing this, it will make your answer a lot more relevant and a lot more impactful. Okay, so that's a way to approach that question. Now, I know that preparing for your interviews or answering NHS interview questions can actually feel very overwhelming. It doesn't matter if you're a healthcare assistant, if you're a care worker, if you're a radiographer, a sonographer, a nurse, a biomedical scientist, a doctor. It doesn't really matter. But the truth is, when you're preparing for any interview, it can literally feel very overwhelming sometimes, especially when you're new to the territory. We all experience it. So it's one thing to know what to say, and then it's another thing to actually structure your answers in a way that actually impresses the panel, which is exactly why I created my ebook, to give you insight knowledge, structured frameworks, and real life examples to help you answer your NHS interview questions with confidence. And so what makes my ebook different? Well, my ebook will give you 2 powerful answers for every question, and you can't get that everywhere. Variety. You're not stuck in a box. You see one question, there are 2 different answers to actually work with and determine which one actually fits with you and your journey and your story and the role that you're applying for. So no more second guessing yourself, just clear, confident answers that work. So if you find yourself struggling to explain your experiences in a way that actually gets results, I will be dropping the link to my ebook below. So do well to click on it and get your copy today. Now, on the other hand, if you find that you're the type of person to struggle with some aspect or all aspects of interview preparation and you need some hand holding, you need someone to actually walk the journey with you. Well, you're not alone. It's also a service that I provide. I know that it can be very, very nerve-wracking to present yourself in the best possible way during your interviews, and that's exactly where I come in. I offer personalized coaching sessions to help you structure your answers confidently, help you tackle tough questions, to help you use methods like the STAR method effectively, to help you master your tone, your pace, your confidence, generally speaking, so that you're able to communicate your strengths effortlessly. I also offer practical feedback like mock interview sessions. Essentially, what I'll be doing with you is giving you the tools that you need to empower you to feel prepared and confident for your interview. So if you're ready to take your interview game to the next level, feel free to drop me a message via my email, which I'll be linking down below. If you get in touch, and we'll get started. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully these answers have been very helpful to you. Again, there are more and more people out there who need information like this. So please do not forget to like, to share, to subscribe. It helps to push this video out to as many people that need it. And if you like to see more content like this, it does motivate me to keep doing this. So please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.